What up, Facebook Live? There's Ken in the background making noise, of course. Welcome to Tournament Tuesday, Northeast Kayak Fishing TV. Tonight we got Ken Wood. I'm sure everybody that's watching knows who he is. We're going to talk about MAKb, how he founded it, how he's grown it, how it's become successful. And well, of course, we'll talk a little about his trip down to Florida he just had. It wouldn't be right if we didn't. So we'll bring him in right now, since he's already making noise. What's up, Ken?
What's going on? You didn't tell me to be quiet.
It's all right. So let's talk about the 10 before we even get into what we're really here for. What was your initial feeling going into the house?
Initial feeling, I mean, Jesus, did you see the house at all?
I did.
Did you see the video Chad put up, I think it was yesterday?
I don't think so.
They do that yeah, they do like an aerial shot in the beginning that shows this like community and like the house we stayed in, the big one in the middle. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was basically a mansion, and we're a bunch of little fishermen, so that's probably not what you're asking me, right?
No, I want to know your feeling. Like how did you feel when you walked in the house? Like the excitement, I mean, you already fished a couple days before, so once you walked into that house, what changed? Did anything change in your mind?
No, I mean, I was focused. I was pretty focused from the beginning. Even though we didn't pre-fish very well, I was still confident that I could do well. The house didn't change anything really. I mean, we didn't even really get to experience because we were so focused on fishing, or at least I was.
Right. Now day one, you had a great day. You were first place. How did you feel that day? Did you think that was going to be enough to take it all, or you?
No, I mean, I was a quarter inch ahead of Russ. Right. And going into day one, I went down with John Ferreira and we pre-fished and like I said, pre-fishing wasn't great. We had a one spot, Lake Jackson, that we did all right, and we fished there on Sunday, and then we fished there again later in the afternoon on Tuesday. And the pattern that we were able to catch some on Sunday still worked on Saturday, so we had a little confidence. But like I mentioned in some of the other things I've been on, day two for the 10 Invitational for me wasn't a good day. I only had 3 fish, so going into day one of the 10, I just picked a random lake, one that we hadn't pre-fished, and I caught, it was like 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. I finally caught like a 14 incher. And then at 11 p.m. I lost an absolute giant, like 7 pounds. Just got me all wrapped up in weeds, and my kayak the wind was pushing me away from where the fish was, and it was just a disaster. And I was pretty bummed at that point. But obviously, as you guys saw, I was able to catch fish, and right where I lost that big one, short distance away, I was up. I caught my limit shortly after. I think it was within like 20-25 minutes. Got me in the third, and then found a couple other spots similar to that one, and then I was able to just keep calling up and got myself in the first place. But I knew that anything could happen, obviously. So I didn't really I had confidence in my spot, but I wasn't stupid enough to think I had it in the bag. You know what I mean?
Right. And it seemed like both days you didn't get turned on to a bite until later in the day.
Yeah, no, and that's messed me up on day two on because I only had a couple of spots. There were these 3. There's only two really bigger spots. It was like not a creek, but it was like a channel cut into the side of the lake that so the cows and stuff could drink, come down to the water and drink. And on the map, the night after the first day, I had noticed a couple of other areas on the map that looked similar. So I that's where I went first to try to find those spots, and they were like, oh, it was all grown in, and I finally got into one area, but once I got in there, it was a different kind of spot. It was all weedy, and obviously they didn't use it much anymore. Um, so then I slowly made my way to that other spot. And I think that was my mistake because it turned out Russ was fishing the same lake, and he was fishing down south, but he was fishing the exact same stuff. And he said that first hour was like crucial. And he crushed it. I mean, I think in the first hour he had like 91
Yeah.
inches or
Yeah, he
something.
was crushing it right away.
Yeah, so I think that's what screwed me up. But that's how it goes.
So you going to make a run for it again this year, or are you laying back?
That's the plan. No, I was, I wanted to, I planned on giving it a go. I wasn't going to do it too hard. Um, and I was just going to fish the regionals, our region. I'm doing Santee Cooper at the end of the month, but I was just going to fish the rest were just going to be in our region. And then I was talking about maybe doing the pro stop in Lake, shoot, I don't know, Lake Kiwi, something like that, South Carolina, North Carolina, one
Yeah,
of
I
those
don't know.
two. And I was talking to Joe Daddio, and he kind of said that he was trying to, he's going to skip the pro tour and he's going to focus on the trail events because he wants to get back into the 10. And then he kind of talked me into doing Lake Lanier down in Georgia. That's another trail event. So I think I'm committed to that one. Actually, I paid for that already. Then there's Randleman in North Carolina. That's May 30th. So I think I'm going to do that one as well. So now I'm fishing. I'm fishing three trail events outside of our region, plus all of them in our region. So yeah, I'm going for it again.
That's awesome. I, I'll be rooting for you, and I'm sure you'll probably make it again.
Wow, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to
Oh,
be
it's
tough.
always tough, but you always find a way.
Yeah, yeah. Now we want to get. Hopefully, Joe makes it. Derek makes it. I know John's going to make a run
Right.
for it. John
Yep.
Ferreira. So it'd be pretty sweet to get a bunch of New England
We
guys
can
in
fill the
there.
house.
Yeah, it'd be nice. All New England, all New Englanders. They wouldn't be able to make a show out of it. Be all
Oh,
cussing.
yeah. Now, let's get into the MAKb. When did you start Massachusetts kayak bassing?
I had the idea for it at the like summer of 2015. Um, I'd fished. We like me, Bruce, and Don. A couple other people. I think maybe Troy. A couple other guys fished uh, just a small trail through the Mass Fish Finder forum. Um, Low buy-ins, $20, $25, something like that. I make jokes about it because like there were times where you'd finish second and you'd get like you'd pay in like $20 and you'd win like 10 or 15. So you won but you still lost. Um, so yeah, just we got to a point where we kind of wanted to fish for a little bit more money and I mean those tournaments were 5.5 want to run them. So we wanted to have like a more traditional kind of event. So yeah, I mentioned that I wanted to start a trail to a couple people. I tried to inquired about running a trail for someone else, and I didn't like the format or anything like that. It wasn't for me. So then another guy decided that he was going to start a trail, his own thing, and so I helped him out for a little bit in 2015 running his, and that was just kind of a disaster. And so then I just said screw it, and I just started MAKB in 2016 was our first year. And I mean we were pretty small. We averaged like 6 people a tournament. The most we ever had was 12. And that was only like twice throughout the year, and the rest were like 6 people, 7 people. So we started small. We were, now we've grown quite a bit.
Right. So tell us about the first year going in, the struggle of getting anglers to join and how you went around that.
I didn't stress over it. I figured if we, I assumed it was going to be a slow burn. You know what I mean? I didn't really care if we had a lot of people. We'd been fishing small events, you know, leading up to that. So I didn't really care. I figured if we just run a good trail, you know, create a Facebook page. We got a website, and just be cool. I mean, don't a lot of the fishing groups out there it's all drama. It's all fighting and people just being dicks to each other.
Right.
And I figured if we we had a Facebook page where that stuff didn't happen, that would be uh, a positive, and it would bring more people in, and that's just slowly how it went. The following year, 2017, we were doing more. I don't know how many. I can look it up. But yeah, we just had we had more people showing up. Oh my God, never mind. I give up. And the crap moving. But yeah, 2017 we grew a little bit. We didn't grow. We weren't huge. Um, and I grabbed the wrong thing. But yeah, it's just now we're growing. We're too big. Kind of. We're gonna max out every event. Last year we maxed out every event. I think 2019 was our most. We had 37 guys at the first tournament of the year. But yeah, 2017 the most we had was 22, and that was just one. Every other tournament was like under 20. Um, but that's just how it goes. I mean,
Right.
you run a good group, and that that's gonna bring more people in.
Exactly.
Mm.
Now you do other styles of tournaments. Let's talk about the 3 Lake Throwdown a little bit. Let's.
Okay, yeah, we're not talking about the knockout series, man.
We are.
We're
I
not.
have suggestions from the outside to talk
Yeah.
about the knockout series.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we do. That was Don's idea, the 3 Lake Throwdown. We were up in I think it was for the Messalonsky Trail event 2 years ago, and I can't remember what happened. I think maybe we had to move a spot or something like that, and Don suggested that um, we do that, and it's a pretty cool idea for just a one-off tournament. We've done it. We've done something similar because we have so many people wanting to sign up, so we've done similar things where we've had two lakes. As part we don't call it a 2 Lake showdown or anything like that. But the 3 Lake Throwdown is just kind of unique, where it's um, you just pick you randomly get assigned a pond, and that's the one you have to fish. Um, so I think some people don't like it, but it's just kind of a unique format. Change it up a little bit. This year, I'm hoping that we can do something like a bit like MLF, like a multi-day, multi-week
Right.
event.
Well,
Where you kind of
you
have.
already do that fall MLF style one. Talk about that a little bit. The online one.
Oh yeah, we did. That's really not something we've done. I think that was the first time we did that this year. That was the 2 day. That was the 2 day no limit, right?
Uh, yeah, I believe so. We had to pick a day.
Yeah, yeah. So that's this year's the first time we did that. We did a no limit last year. That was a month long. Or maybe 2000 was it 2017? Either way, it was a month long. It was ridiculous. We're never gonna do it again. Um, I think I put up like 4,000 inches. Chris Marty put up like almost five, or maybe I put up almost four and he put up almost five or something. And I mean, I had a week where I couldn't fish. So if I had a week, I'd be up there too, almost 5,000 inches. So it was pretty stupid. I think it was 33,000 inches total between everybody. It was, and then like I had to judge all that crap, or most of it anyway. Yeah, so we'll never do that again. But maybe we'll do a 2 day. But I don't think we'll do one this year. I think we're gonna maybe try to do that MLF thing. Same kind of style where like the first day, there's a group A, there's a group B, same lake, that sort of thing, and then it's like I forget how they do it. They do the elimination, and then they do the knockout or something like
Right.
that. It's a little cool little idea. We got it mapped out. I just don't know if we have the time. There's so many damn tournaments
Yeah.
out there.
It's getting ridiculous with the amount of tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have like 28 scheduled already.
Yeah, I'm over that.
Yeah, I haven't added all of them either. Yeah, it's crazy, and that's there's bass boat trails around here that I'm gonna try to fish those
There's
this year
no
as well.
way. There's no way you're fitting it
I'm
in.
gonna get a couple
You
in.
tried last year and you couldn't do
I
it.
did, I did. It didn't work out last year, but I got some dates this year that aren't
You
conflict, so
need to
I'm
just
definitely.
sell the boat.
I know, I probably do. I probably do. So
Well, now let's talk about the knockout series. We don't have to talk about the results yet,
yeah,
but let's talk
again,
about
it's
how it's
cheating.
designed and
Yeah, there was a guy, Rich LeBlanc. He ran for God like 10 years or something like that. He ran a something called the Grudge Match. It was bass boats, um, and when did we start this? I don't even know when we did our first one. Like 2016, without 2017. I reached out to him and I just asked him if he would mind if I used the format. And the format's basically it's a bracketed um, tournament. With his it's teams and yeah, you pay, you sign up. It's a one-time entry fee, and once you got to hit a certain amount of anglers. You got to have it's like what 16 or 32, and then 64 if you want to have a two-man finale. If you have 48, which we've had the last couple of years, as a three-person finale, but it's just an elimination tournament. It's a random pairing from the start, and that kind of sets the brackets. Um, and then the two anglers just get together. The two anglers that are paired up, they just get together. They fish their own lake wherever they want to fish, as long as it's public lake or whatever. Um, the time they want to fish, the day, it doesn't matter. They can fish 10 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours. Um, and yeah, it's a pretty unique format, and it's gone over pretty well. I'm hoping that we get to 64 anglers this year.
right. You haven't hit 64 yet, right?
No, no. We had the first year we had 16, and then we did 32, and then I think the past 2 years we've had 48. So it's been a three-person. I kind of like the idea of a two-person better, but
Yeah,
if we get 48, we'll get 48, and we'll do that again. It works.
right. Well, it works for
But
some of us.
yeah, Jesus Christ. I got crushed the first year, man. Round one, Bruce kicked my ass like by 30 inches. Crazy, and he sucks, by the
Yeah, I know. He's horrible. Uh,
way.
so anybody that's watching, to shape that what Ken just set up, if you're familiar with like an NCAA bracket, that's pretty much how the knockout
Yeah.
series works. It's a bracketed style tournament. You get pairs, and they compete against each other, and then the winners from those compete against the winners of the others, and so on, till you get to the last three. If it's 48 and two if
Yeah.
it was 64. Uh, I enjoyed it. It was definitely a lot of fun. The scheduling thing can be tough with certain
Yeah.
guys. Um,
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some rules, new rules this year,
yeah,
kind of cover some of that stuff because it's some people, it's not just obviously sometimes things happen, but then some guys it's like I can fish Tuesday, we get 6 weeks. I can only fish Tuesday from 3 to 5 p.m.
right.
You know,
I mean, it's tough.
it's not really fair.
Right.
It's not really fair if that happens.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's gonna happen. There's you need to maybe shorten the rounds a week and then have a week for makeup or whatever.
Yeah, maybe we'll think about it. We got to talk it through, but we'll be
Yeah.
announcing it soon. Obviously, the season's about to start. We got a lot of announcements coming up. We got some cool stuff scheduled for this year.
Yeah, and you're definitely slacking. You have not been posting anything.
I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I'm still trying to nail down our trail. I mean, I think there's 2 dates that we have to find spots to fish because every damn spot I try to get a permit for, it's been taken. The date's been taken, so
Right.
I'm gonna have to stop maybe moving around some days and stuff.
So to end out the knockout series conversation, Ken has made it to the championship every year and has yet to win.
No, only 3 times. Only 3 times. But yeah, I've yet to win. I get crushed. It's awful.
Yeah, Jason has made it known that he won he's
Yeah,
he's
where?
all he was talking about it before I came on. He said we had to discuss it.
Guy's a loser.
And then I beat him last year
Cut it out.
by
Jesus.
a quarter of an
That's
inch.
my.
By a quarter.
You don't understand, man. You when you guys were like, you're like, let's we'll fish snipper to it, and I'm like, man, come on, you guys don't want me to fish snipper to it because the last two times like we've had club events there, I've put up over 90 inches, and so when you guys were like, yeah, who cares? I'm like, all right, sweet, I'm in, I'm all in, and then yeah, I lost.
Yeah,
But did I beat Mike? Right? At least I beat Mike.
yeah, because I only beat you by a
Yeah,
quarter of an inch, but I don't think
yeah.
you beat him by much either.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I know I didn't win again. So
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
no, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
to see
No,
your face,
no.
to see your face.
I had a pretty good day because I fished. Yeah, I had a pretty good day in areas that I normally don't do well there. I mean, I've only fished there like 5 or 6 times.
I only fished there that
Um,
one time.
yeah. So, but I was catching fish, and I'm like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And I moved to the area that I did really well in the past during those two other tournaments, and I didn't catch anything. So I should have stayed out where it was.
Yeah, I fished the middle the whole time. I tried
Yeah.
the reed line there, and it wasn't paying off, so I just started
That's where I was catching.
flinging it.
Yeah, that's why that place is maddening because all that grass along the shoreline looks so amazing. And it's like, it's a needle in a haystack
Yeah,
trying to find the fish. But I was catching them. I was catching them that
yep.
day.
Once I started to see
So
bait busting on the surface, that was it. I was just
yeah,
followed schools of
I
bait.
saw it too. I saw it too. I should have, I ignored it and went to that other spot thinking that I was gonna, you know, do really well there, and
Sometimes
I didn't
that can
catch anything.
be your worst enemy is knowing a place and knowing places that
Yeah.
you did well at, and then you stick
Yep.
it with that spot, and if you don't change your mind,
That's the hardest thing about tournament
yeah.
fishing is just being smart about it, and it's like I'm not the best at it. I've only been doing well the
Well,
past couple of
I would
years.
say you're pretty damn close to the best at it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I mean, I make some stupid mistakes. Um, but it's tough. It's a different mindset. You have to have a completely different mindset to tournament fish, and I still have some bad habits from before just from fun fishing. It's like, but I'm getting better. Getting better at being more focused and disciplined, um, and seeing those signs like you know. Even at the 10 where it's like I had these really productive spots and I didn't believe that there were resident fish there. I thought the fish were coming in and out, and I made the dumb mistake of not going there first. It should have been my first spot. I should have gone there right from the start. That's where I was catching the fish, and then
So when you went back there,
tried to find those. What's
when you
that?
went back there, that's when you started catching fish again.
Yeah, I mean, I went into that first little cut that I'd lost the big one the day before, and then I lost another giant later on that day as well in one of those other spots, and it was sucked. I mean, another 6 7 pounder. But yeah, I went into that first spot, and that's where I actually caught my first fish, a couple dinks. Put those on the board. I think 3 of them or something, and then I went over to that other spot, and that's when I started catching some decent fish. I put up a 20, and then I put up like a 17, and then the camera crew showed up, and I didn't catch a bigger fish the whole day. They talk about this thing called the cameraman
Yeah.
curse, and I don't know. Yeah, obviously I don't believe in like curses like that, but I wonder if there's some truth to it. If maybe they put some little like some stress on you a little bit, or if maybe just the presence of 2 additional kayaks, um, not very far away from you. You know what I mean? Is kind of an issue. I don't know. But they were there, and I didn't catch another fish that size, all 16s and smaller.
Well, you got Bruce
So
that always follows you around catching fish, so that
like
doesn't usually
like
bother you.
puppy dog, throw them all the same crap. It's
He's
awesome.
not on either, and I wish he was because
He's not.
I've
You
been wanting to bust
bastard.
his balls so bad.
No, Bruce and I fished like we fished the exact same stuff, like the same baits, the same everything. I mean, he's fishing the same style as me. Like I like to fish really thick sloppy weed, nasty stuff that like most people won't fish. Like there's a pond called Stump Pond that we've been fishing forever, and the back half is weedy, and you'll see other people fishing there. They fish the outside of the weed line, and we go way back into it. Um, so yeah, we always tend to end up in the same damn spots, which kind of sucks because he's a pretty
Yeah,
good
he is.
fisherman.
We like to
Some
say he
days,
sucks, but he doesn't really suck.
yeah, yeah. So you don't want to see guys like that in your spots.
Yeah, definitely not. So with those other style tournaments, do you feel that having those is necessary to the success of the club?
No, not necessarily. I mean, it's a fun option for people. Some people can't do or don't want to do the regular tournaments. They don't want to commit, or a lot of people tend to think that they'll never win. They think that we're so good that they have no shot, and they feel like maybe they have a better shot fishing the knockout match or knockout series. It's not necessarily true. I mean, yeah, we have some great anglers and stuff like that, but I mean, if you look at our standings, I mean, different people win all the time. Um, but it's just like I said, it's just a different option. Some guys, they don't have the schedule. They work Saturdays, so they can't fish our event. Like I can't fish a lot of yours because I work Sundays.
Right.
Um, so it's just it's options. But then there's some of us that fish everything. So, but I don't think it's necessary. It's just something that just kind of adds a little bit to it.
Right. Now I know you guys don't charge a membership now. What are your thoughts on membership, and do you feel that MAKB is going in that direction?
I don't know. I mean, we are like the official Bass Nation kayak trail right now. That's another thing that I have to announce officially. To fish that, we're gonna have to take. It's not us,
Right.
but it's gonna be a membership due. I mean, there's benefits to having the memberships. They help. You can use the money to buy trophies and for the banquets and all that stuff. I mean, we've done the 50-50 now for 2 years in a row, I think, and that's basically covered the cost of all of that. I think the first year, well, maybe we started it. I can't remember. We started it last year, and I can't remember. Anyway, I think I'd already paid for the trophies or something by the time we started the 50-50. But anyway, I recouped what I had spent, so it works out well. And then with that, somebody gets something out of it. But if we ever do a membership, it's gonna just be because we have sponsors and stuff, and the sponsors don't want us to just give out discount codes to everybody, so to be like a members only thing. So we'd charge for membership. We'd probably, give like a T-shirt, a sticker or something, make it worth it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Make it so, and then a little bit comes back to the group to cover some costs of, whatever. Just like I said, trophies and stuff like that. But it's not something that I plan on doing yet. You know what I mean? We definitely won't be doing it for 2020. But maybe in the future, I don't know.
Now you talked about Bass Nation a little bit. You going to leave that optional to only the guys who are interested in Bass Nation,
What do
like
you mean, like?
qualifying?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean, if you want to fish, so we're gonna do it differently than some other groups do it. A lot of other states are just gonna have a championship event, a single event, and the winner is the um, to the. I think they call it the Kayak Series Classic. I think they should, but
State
I don't think they.
championship.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's a state champ. Yeah,
Yeah.
state champion. But I mean, I'm talking about
Oh,
like
the
if you win
national.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they should call it the Kayak Series
They
Classic, but
should.
I don't think they will. But yeah, so we're gonna do it where we're gonna qualify people through our trail. But yeah, if you want to qualify, you have to be a Bass Nation member,
Right.
uh, a Massachusetts Bass Nation member,
Right.
and a Bass Nation member, and then of course a member of Bassmasters. So
Right.
what we'll do is we'll have a sign up and have everybody will send the money to me, and then I'll pass that along. But yeah, so each event, and you could sign up throughout the year if you want.
Right.
Uh, but you won't, your past events won't count toward it. If you want an event and then you want to sign up after, that won't count.
So you're running it in conjunction with your regular trail.
Yeah, so our trail event will qualify people, and then it'll be like so it'll be top three from every event. So that'll be like potentially 30 guys. There'll probably be some overlap, and then it'll be the top
No
10 or
roll downs.
15.
No roll
No roll
downs.
downs. No, no. It'll be the top 10 or 15 from the Angler of the Year standings, and then those guys will go to fish the championship, and yeah, the top five there will be able to go to the classic or the championship, whatever they're calling it. I don't know if they will, but yeah, they'll have that option.
Awesome. We're doing the similar thing over here. I've kind of handed it off to Greg Kraz and letting him do
Yeah,
do the whole
Greg.
president thing. Greg is
Yeah,
cool, dude,
Greg
man.
who? Yeah, no, I talked to him about it. We discussed it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so are you guys doing? Because you guys are doing like a weird like
Cause
three
it
groups.
because we
Or,
got 3 clubs in Rhode Island.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we don't. It's not all finalized. So don't anybody jump down my throat if it doesn't go this way. But people can qualify through each club. That's all I'm gonna say is you can qualify through each club for the state championship, and that's that.
so you're doing it like the trail.
Yeah, but it's not gonna
Yeah,
be all of my events. Like not all 10 events, and not all 10 of the other clubs event. Because some of them are only doing 7 tournaments. Some are doing 10 tournaments.
yeah,
Uh, John with any bass, I think he's got like 45 tournaments. No,
yeah,
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
yeah.
exaggerating. But John, I'm pretty sure he's got more than 10. John, he's the go getter, man.
Yeah, yeah. It was talking. He's blowing up my phone today with all this stuff he's planning on doing.
I think he's watching too.
Yeah,
Go getter, man. He really is. And now he's doing all the pro tour stuff.
yeah.
Good for him.
He's retired. He's retiring next year, so he's
Yep.
gonna be all over the place.
Good for him, man. Good for him. Deserves it.
Yeah.
Uh, so is your 2020? You're not done with your 2020 schedule, but are you close?
Yeah, I got like yeah. There's like two, just two. It's I mean one of them's the opener. So I gotta find a spot for that. We try to get a place that's like that fishes well in the cold. Um, not every place does. So trying to find something that's suitable. And that, people are gonna show up and they'll actually catch fish. But yeah, I guess I started a little too late this year trying to get. There's some other things that we're trying to get rolling, like obviously the KBF stuff. A lot of guys fish that for that those schedules to come out. We were hoping that they were going to add a fourth date and fourth trail event up here and up at Champlain, and that didn't happen. So. And then me, Jason, and some other guys like Brian Balser and Chris Miggs in New Hampshire, we're working on um, something pretty big that's going to be it's going to be cool. We're like that close to
Is
finalizing
it a
everything.
KBF thing or
Uh,
not KBF thing?
it is a KBF. It wasn't originally, and it is now. It's kind of it's going to be like a pilot thing for 2021. So it was our idea. It was just something we were going to do, something we wanted to do last year. It just kind of fell through. We just didn't have the time. So we kind of changed it up a little bit this year, and it just it mirrored kind of something that KBF wants to do in 2021. So yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it this year. We're gonna be like the first group to ever do it. So, or the first region, I
Something
guess. It's
something
gonna be cool.
similar to what we talked about before, like last year. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Similar. It's not just a single event though.
Okay.
So, but we're close to announcing it. There's a couple more things that we got to finalize,
Nice.
but it'll be kind of cool.
Awesome. So tell us about, like, you're obviously not the only one that's running MAKb. I mean, you're the top guy, but what are some of the
Right.
other jobs you've given out to other guys, and who are they? Let's give them some recognition.
We haven't really. I think we're getting big enough to where we kind of delegate, or we need to delegate. Especially, I think with Bass Nation, we have to come up with roles, like specific roles. Like I'd be like the president, somebody'd be the vice president, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, Bruce has done like he's kind of worked with the sponsors and everything like that. And now we brought on John. He's going to do the same thing. Don has always done he's helped me out at in the mornings collecting the money. He's done the 50-50, things like that. We brought Kevin on this year. He's going to help out, but we really don't have like defined roles, so much as except for the guys who, John and Bruce. But that's something we're going to work on because we're getting bigger and stuff. But they just basically general help whenever it's needed, wherever it's needed. You know what I mean?
Awesome. So, name some of your sponsors. Who you guys got for this year?
So yeah, we got so Dakota Lithium is one. Rocky Ledge Tackle. Again, that's one of my favorite bait makers around. Then we got Radfish Lures, and we got MGC Fishing Equipment. It's Mike Sales. He's got a shop out in southern Massachusetts. I think Hanson. I can never remember if it's Hanson or Hanover. I think it's Hanson. It's one of those two. But yeah, he's got a pretty cool shop. He's got tons of swim baits and everything like that. If you like swim baits, I mean that's kind of like his specialty, the bigger baits. I mean he's got, you can go there and get the King Daddy Spro Frog. It's the only place I've ever seen it where you can buy it in a store. So he specializes in that the bigger baits. But he's got rods and stuff, and he's got saltwater gear and all that, and he's got some smaller stuff, soft plastics and stuff. But who else? We got Titan Tungsten for this year. I know people get annoyed with their email campaigns, but they make a they make a great stuff. The gear is good, the gloves are good, the weights are great. They got some swim baits that they're working on. We got some samples of the swim bait stuff. They're pretty cool. And that's it right now. We're still working on a few more. Hoping to get some couple more big ones on board. But yeah, that's what we're working on.
Yeah, I saw you wearing those Titan Tungsten gloves down the 10. They're real
they're
good.
Nice. Yeah, they're definitely nice gloves. I mean, like I think I said they do get stinky like the rest of them, but they seem to take a little bit longer. But just they're more durable than like I had like the NRS gloves, and they fell apart pretty quick. But these are pretty durable. So,
John DeCenzo says potluck dinner. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, it's March 31st. No, wrong. March 21st. Yeah. The same place we had it last year. It's like a little, like an Elks Lodge type thing. Works out really well. It's a free rental for us. And yeah, it's just, we're doing potluck. I mean, we could again, we don't take money from memberships and stuff. So potluck works for us. It worked great last year. We had John's father got us like a big pork roast. And there was so much of that left over that I'm not doing that again this year. I had so much pork, and it was too much. But yeah, we'll just do a potluck. Get everybody together, and it's just a everybody getting together, hanging out, shooting shit. And a costume, sorry. Yeah, talking smack, talking trash, getting ready for the season. It's the week before a lot of us are leaving for the national championship, so it's a good send off, and then we'll recognize everybody that won tournaments last year and everything, give them a trophy and all that stuff. So it's a cool thing. We've only done it one time so far, but it was a good time last year. And anybody can come. People who fished with us or don't fish with us or fish with other groups, doesn't matter. Everybody's invited. Kids, wives, everybody.
I plan on being there. It's still a little far away for me to say I'm definitely going to be there, but I'm planning on it.
40 minutes.
No, not the distance. I'm saying the date. The date's a little far away, so I don't want to say I'm definitely going, but I plan on going.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the event page on the Facebook group, so if you want to go, check it out.
Yeah, I think I click interested. I didn't click going. I don't want to say I'm going and then not show up.
Yeah, I know. You always do
that. Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow. Wow.
Kidding.
So how many double dates do you have booked up this year? Like Saturday and Sunday tournaments. You know how we did it last year a couple of times.
Yeah, I didn't I didn't put any. Yeah, I don't know yet. I haven't looked at any of your
No, I'm
events.
saying like
Um,
traveling and then coming back home and fishing another one the next day. Oh, you fish all yours
oh,
on
that's
Saturday, anyways.
no. That was yeah. That was ridiculous. I don't know about that. Yeah, I haven't looked at any of the Sunday dates. I mean, I guess we could do it for Lake George if that was possible. I don't think we're coming back from. I'm not doing a drive from Virginia
Yeah, that
again.
was rough, man. That was rough.
Yeah, that was. And then, oh yeah,
Jason
yeah.
did it to me this year, though. Thanks, buddy.
What do you mean?
With the Pro Tour Open, I have our season opener is the next day.
Are you gonna do it?
uh,
That's New Jersey. Yeah,
I might.
that's
I
Jersey
might.
though. That's that's not too bad. That's what 6 hours.
Yeah, probably.
Yes. So that's not too bad. What did we do last time? Was it
It
like
was it
13?
was Lake Anna. That place was
Yeah.
at least 10 hours, I think.
Yeah, it was over 10 hours. It was like 13 or something. It was dumb. Big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had a massive toothache.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You
Ripping
went a
my
little
tooth out
earlier.
on the water. Oh man,
Yeah.
I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Peter just tuned in. That was brutal. He was there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was cold and
yep,
rainy that day
yep.
too, wasn't it?
We went from being in Virginia where we were nice and toasty to coming home and dealing with the rain.
Yeah, it was a rough weekend. I don't want to talk about Anna either.
Yeah, that was tough.
That place.
And
I that's another place that I again when we talk about fishing smart. The wind was blowing right into the shoreline where we launched, and it had a bunch of like it had old docks, pylons and stuff and wood, just old wood, all along that shoreline, and I was quitting. I was so fed up. I didn't have a fish. I was quitting. I was going in. It was like an hour early, and I said, screw it. I put the power pole down, nose into one of those docks, and just immediately caught a fish. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I went over to another one and caught another fish. I think I caught three. I might have only caught two. I don't know. But yeah, I figured, there were fish there, and I ran out of time.
yeah, it was.
I was so mad. I was like,
I
should have known, but it was so windy.
yeah.
It was just like I wanted my brain was just stay over here, dude. Like you're gonna it looks awesome. Stay over here, it's nice and calm. And I did, and I should have went out in the wind and dealt with it, and might have done better.
Yeah,
So
I did quit. I couldn't take the toothache anymore. I was
yeah,
just like, screw this. I'm not catching.
you quit Anna
Yeah,
too for the
yep.
tooth. Nice.
I was like, screw this, man. I'm
Yeah,
done. Oh, it was so
yeah.
bad.
I had a tooth that was pretty. When I was growing up, we were poor and we didn't have dental insurance and stuff. So I had a tooth that kind of like, and it was some of the
Yeah,
worst pain
man.
ever. Like I remember I used to put like
Yep.
aspirin right on the tooth and just let it melt, and oh yeah,
I
brutal. So it took me. I think that I was like around 14, and I dealt with that for like 2 years, until I got like my own job and my own money and stuff, and was able to pay for it myself.
Yeah, that's the worst pain in the world, man. I was
Yeah.
jamming every type of medication inside that tooth I could. It was bad. I was so high. Oh man, it was brutal. But I got it taken care of. Got
Nice.
home, ripped it out. George Valentine says whiskey rinse. I tried it, buddy. I tried everything, and it wouldn't work. All because I ate beans. Eggs and I had eggs
Beans.
and beans the night before the tournament, and something small must have went inside it because it was a broken tooth, and it had been
Yeah,
broke
yeah.
for probably 2-3 years. Never a problem. The night before tournament, yeah, I end up with a toothache.
You had beans and eggs the night before the
Yeah,
tournament, dude.
why? Not Red Lobster or Chinese buffet.
Chinese buffet. Yeah, that's gonna come back to haunt
Yeah,
us one day,
yeah.
one turn. I'm
Somebody's gonna
telling
have
you,
fucking
that's like a tradition.
salmonella the morning they wake up.
Yeah, it's a tradition now. We've had some pretty goddamn good
Yeah, the one in
buffets,
where were
but
we? Chautauqua? Is that where we were?
Yeah, I don't know. We've had so many, I can't remember. But they've all we've had some pretty good ones. Gerard would probably argue that, but you
The thing
know,
is, I don't even like Chinese food, but I mean, there's always
yeah,
something at a buffet that I'll eat.
yeah. The best one was down in Bienville. It was called Fusion Buffet, and it said country and Chinese, and I was like, no, and I thought it was fusion, like it was gonna be like country food mixed with China, and it wasn't. It was just like one half of the buffet was country stuff, and the other half was. And I was like, this is confusion buffet, man. Like that's not fusion. But it was really good. Chenzo remembers that. It was like $5.99. It was like wicked good.
$5.99 for a buffet.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Well, it was
Yeah, it
Florida. It's
is.
cheaper down there. But yeah, we ate there like three times. You know,
Yeah, everything's cheaper
but
down there.
yeah, it'll get us. It'll get us. McDonald's got me at the national championship last year. Wiped me out the first day. I had food
Really,
poisoning.
McDonald's.
Yeah, dude, it crushed and killed me. I mean, I was true. I just we ate it, and then I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes later, I started, just like, oh, this doesn't feel good. And then I got really bad. I think can't remember what happened. At one point, like we pulled over, we got out somewhere, and I remember I said to Don, I said, "Can you drive?" And he goes, "No." And I was like, "Dude, I'm dying here." So yeah, he didn't drive. I guess he didn't think I was like really sick. Um, so like I'm driving and I'm like, oh, I'm weaving all over the road because I'm trying to hold in PETA. I start rolling down the window because I'm gonna try to throw up out the window while I'm driving on the highway. It was bad. It was bad. I eventually pulled over and then I just let go all over the side of the road. And then finally he drove. He took the keys from me because I think he realized how bad it was. But yeah, then I did that first day and that we got there and a lot of the next day. I did not feel good at all. I mean, that first day it crushed me. I mean, just food poisoning is bad. Yeah,
So let
And it was this apple pie. I'm telling you, it was the apple pie. This I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, it was a giant fat guy. Like he was like a big round balloon and just a little head. And I was sitting there looking, I'm like, you guys got apple pies? And he looks at me and he goes, they's good. I was like, all right, dude, I'm sold, man. I'll take an apple pie. And I bet he was the devil. I'm telling you, he was the devil. That's got
Oh.
him. Yeah.
All right.
So
So John says the Chinese cowboys.
yeah.
So I want to get your thoughts on there's all these new kayak tournaments and everything jumping out of everywhere and so many tournaments. What do you
Yeah.
feel that's going to do to the tournament scene? You think it's going to destroy it, make it better?
No. Um no, I mean I don't think it'll I it depends on who's running it, I guess. It's not gonna destroy it. There's too many anglers, there's no reason for any organization to get competitive like that. Um just there's way too many anglers. We all know that. You know what I mean? There's not one group out there that's big enough for every angler. So there's plenty of room for other groups running trails, and whether they're local or national. Like Bass Nation and Hobie and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a positive. I don't see how it can have a negative effect on anybody. On a personal level, for some people, it probably will, but just overall, I don't think so. I think it'll make everything better, make it every better and bigger. It's going to make it more difficult to get to the top. I think,
Right.
but now is the time if you want to kind of make a run for a career in this. Now's the time to go for it because they need stars. You know what I mean?
Right.
They need
Well,
names. This what's that?
now that you brought that up, is Ken Wood trying to make a career out of kayak fishing?
Dude, I wish. I mean, I would absolutely if I could, if that opportunity presented itself. But I mean, with kids and wife and just bought a house and everything like that, I can't obviously just drop everything and go. But yeah, I'd love to. That'd be a lot of fun to just go around and fish and you know we got some things planned that some of us that might point us in that direction. But we'll see. It's none of this was ever in the plans anyway. It's just kind of something that happened from starting the trail. It just kind of snowballed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trying all these different things, and yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Are you reaching out to companies? You trying to get yourself paid? I mean,
I'm not. Yeah,
you're the
I
number
mean,
two in the country. I mean,
yeah, I know that. I know, but I'm just terrible at like selling myself. I don't like have that kind of ego. You know what I
I know
mean?
you don't. I know.
So it's difficult. But a little bit, I guess. I'm dipping my toes in the water. You know, second place is great, but first place is obviously better.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, you're consistent. You're in the top 10 2 years in a row. You're winning regional and national events. I mean, what else can they expect? I mean,
yeah,
you're doing it. So, I mean, I think that they would have no other choice but to pay you. I mean, I know you're not the prettiest face to put on TV, but
I used to be sexy, man. I used to be good looking. Got fat. Got fat. My kid head butted me, gave me a gap between my front teeth. It's awful.
it's all
It's
right.
awful.
They got all
I used
that
to
editing software and stuff now.
yeah, get the filters.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me that blurry face.
I mean, shit. I made you look like the Godfather.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus, gonna get me killed. Gonna get me killed. Vincenzo, man. Like, who's this dude? I'm the Godfather.
Yeah. Uh, Gardner brought it up. Hashtag no respect.
Yeah,
You told him to talk junk, so it's your turn.
yeah. Yeah. He wanted to make that sticker last year, and
Daddy-O
I,
says he'd hit it.
yeah, he has.
Oh shit! In the 10 house last year.
Yeah, yeah, because nobody else wanted to talk to us. Well, it's not good. It's awful, terrible, terrible. Um, yeah. What was it? No respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not helping that at all. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a little tongue in cheek. It's a little bit of a joke, but obviously we know we've seen it all. We've all seen it online. Things that people say, and the kind of the way they kind of you know um, a little snooty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way they kind of look at us or this region. I don't want to say us necessarily. It's just this region. And I think part of it, like I've said before, it's traditionally the South is where the fishing stuff happens.
Right.
The big, but if you're fishing for tournaments, or you're fishing to win, I mean, you're not fishing for big bass. So it's exciting looking at the big bass and seeing them on TV and the guys holding them up and catching 30-pound bags and stuff like that. But if the goal is to win, I don't see why any angler, and those are the guys that we're kind of fighting with right now. Not fighting, but going back and forth with. They're anglers. They're tournament anglers. So I don't see why they would have such an issue with coming up here, and catching 3, 4, 5 pounders, or
Right.
2 pounders, whatever. If the goal is to win the tournament, who cares?
Right. And
Cares?
if you're so good, I mean, you should be able to catch all of our
Exactly,
5 pounders.
exactly.
You know
But
what I
like
mean?
I've said, the argument is always based on, you know, we can't our region can't handle big events. We don't have the anglers, we don't have the lakes. People won't pay the big entry fees, and we all know that's garbage. Really, what it is they just people just don't want to travel. You know,
Exactly.
and we understand that. You know what I mean? We know it traveling sucks, but what did we do?
We
We
do
just
it.
said, well,
Yeah.
screw it, we
We
gotta
have
do
no
it.
choice. So
Yeah. So we go and do it, and they've had, again, traditionally, they've had those opportunities close to home, and so that's what they're used to, and they don't want to travel outside of their region. They like to fish in their backyard. Some of them, not all of them, obviously.
right.
Um, but that's kind of what it comes down to. in my opinion. I don't think their arguments have much merit beyond that. We have great fisheries.
Right.
We don't
The
have
only
giant
difference is the size of the fish. That's the only
Yeah, right.
difference.
Pretty much. Yeah, yeah. And obviously, Massachusetts, you're not going to have many big events, unless you could convince them to allow us to have something on Quabbin or what's the other one? Wachusett. Do they even allow anybody on
I'm
that? I
not
don't
sure.
think so. Yeah, I don't think so. But if you can convince them to allow people to fish that, then you could have a big event. But otherwise, we got pretty small ponds. I think Webster's probably big enough for a big event, but beyond
Yeah.
that, I don't know of many. Charles River, we could do that. But Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. I mean, come on, Champlain. I mean,
Right.
get out of here.
Right.
Champlain is phenomenal.
St.
You can
Lawrence
go.
River. St. Lawrence
Yeah,
River is right, like that's in our region.
well, Candlewood. I mean, I've never fished Candlewood, but come on, I see what people pull out of there.
Right.
Rhode Island doesn't. Rhode Island has nothing. It's
Right.
too small.
If we did Rhode Island, it would have to be like open to every public water.
Every
Yeah.
state.
Every body of water in the state is
um,
open, which actually isn't a bad
yeah, yeah,
idea. We
yeah,
could do
yeah.
that.
No. But yeah, so whatever. I mean, it's just that we know what their real
Yeah.
issue is.
You handled that pretty well. Ken's learning.
I'm
Ken
trying,
is
man.
learning.
I'm trying.
See?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
I couldn't even. I almost had to unfollow him on Facebook.
What?
I'm joking. But it's. I mean, it's to that point where some people, I'm sure they do, because did back then, because you always had something to say about everything. You definitely
Yeah.
learned over the years.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd love to say it's just not even it's not even, it's
Yeah,
pointless.
that's what
Nobody
I've tried
listens.
to
They
tell
don't
you,
care.
man. You just got to keep your mouth
Yeah,
shut.
I know. It kind of comes from a place of not around. I don't want to be a jerk, but
Right.
like
You just.
it doesn't come from that. I want to like try to like you'd think that people would want to like be
Right.
educated and they'd want to learn. You know what I mean, and not just kind of just be ignorant and because if you're ignorant, you're just like, yeah, I'm right. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's kind of where it comes from. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I've always been. But yeah, the
The way
way
you come
and
across sometimes.
well, of course, yeah. There's a little bit of that.
Right.
There's a little bit of that Massachusetts, just that straightforward, blunt kind of approach that people don't
Right.
like that. But yeah, that's kind of learning how to deal with that. My kids have calmed me down quite a bit.
Yeah, till
I can't do that
your
with
daughter
them,
gets a little older, and then you're not going to be calm anymore. Yeah, my daughter is now entering the teen stage, so
Yeah,
things aren't pretty in my house.
yeah.
Uh,
We got a long
yeah.
way to go. We got a long way to go before then. So we waited. Our kids are pretty young.
Daddy-O says Connecticut River. That's another good one.
Yeah, yeah. That goes through Mass, right? Straight through Mass, doesn't it?
Part of Massachusetts and Connecticut. I believe
Yeah.
some of it is in Vermont.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we obviously we have bodies of water. I mean, Sudbury River, probably, maybe. You know, I know that's pretty long, and a lot of people. I don't know if I don't know how well it fishes, but
Yeah, I'm not.
we can make do.
I
We can make
know.
do. We got plenty of
I know
opportunities.
Katucci did a kayak float down a portion of the Connecticut River last summer, and he said the smallie fishing was amazing.
Nice. Yeah.
Robotile says it's the mass hole approach.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't work well on a national level.
John says the Merrimack River. I don't know much
Yeah.
of the Merrimack. I thought most of that was like whitewater rafting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got big pike. I know that in certain areas.
I'll get to do my freestyle kayak and fish at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, no thanks. I'm not doing anything like that. Too old. But I don't know. Wait until the regional championship. I think that'll turn some
Yeah,
heads.
I know Jason is gonna definitely do
Yeah,
a
Jason's
fantastic job.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he's been working with the state and everything, and they've
hopefully, I'll qualify.
If everything it kind of falls into place, it'll be pretty
Yeah.
awesome. And it'll be like I don't think they'll don't think any other regional championship up to that point will even come close to how big it is.
Really?
Yeah. If Jason's able to pull it off.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think he will.
But no, it's gonna be pretty big. It's gonna be different. It's not gonna be it won't be like our last year's regional championship. And I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what other groups did for theirs. But I'm pretty confident that this one's gonna be
We need to get
different.
like an MC when we do regional events. We need an
There,
MC.
if we get the spot, there's going to be a stage and it's got lights. I mean, they probably have a PA system, I imagine.
Yeah.
So we get up there, we get Pagnano to do a couple tunes.
Yeah, there we go.
Do a
Pagnano,
comedy,
country music
set. Yeah, I'll do a bad comedy set. And,
if I don't qualify, I'll MC it.
yeah, we do some karaoke. Oh, Chris Ellis used to DJ. We can get him up there DJing. We can, we can get the sparklers and glow sticks out.
All right, last two questions that I ask everybody. Yeah, I know you're not a goal setter, but 2020 goals.
Yeah, I'm not a goal setter really. I just kind of go with it. Obviously, I definitely want to make the top 10 again. That's
Daddy-O said Ken is a rapper. He should spit some rhymes.
I'll do it.
You want to do a duo? Go up there.
Yeah,
with battle rap.
Take it up. Yeah. Jeez, my eyebrows super long now. Anyway, what were we talking about? Goals. Yeah, not rapping at the regional championship. That's one goal. Making the top 10. I'd like to win. I'd like to win some trail events. Obviously, that's it's a decent paycheck. Just fish well. That's all.
I'm hoping for a top 10, and you're hoping for a win. There's a big difference between.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I got the trail events are I'm confident in them, but I don't know. One spot might work one year, not the next. So I got a couple spots that have worked well for me. You know what I mean? But who knows if they'll pay off? And I'm gonna try to save some vacation time and actually save Sarah some vacation time and not go to these events for long. Show up Friday. Maybe scout a couple areas and then fish Saturday and then leave. So we'll see if that pays off.
Yeah, that's the same thing I'll be doing. That's the same thing I've done in the past too, and didn't really work. But...
Yeah, it's worked sometimes. I mean, I think at Lake George, I think that place is so good that you could probably go anywhere and catch fish. Because both times I did no pre-fish, and I think I pre-fished from shore the first year, and I placed third. So I think that place is pretty good. But Messalonski, I know that can be tough. I've never fished that's the regional, but yeah, East-West, we did all right East-West, but I know there's going to be a million people there at that spot. There were this year. Susquehanna, I don't know. I'm just going to probably fish the same damn spot I fished last year. Hopefully,
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
we caught fish all day. We just didn't get the size.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't get out to the main river, So, yeah, I think that's probably where I'm just going to go and just, make it. Hope for the best. I've done enough research on the spots, so they're definitely good spots.
Definitely. And last question: top 5 anglers.
Pros.
It can be anybody. Pros, it can be anybody.
Oh, I don't want to do that. All right, because Jason mentioned me, right? Oh,
don't mention Jason. He can't even catch fish.
I'll do. Yeah, he sucks. I know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's see. Now I'll do pros and then I'll do some others. So pros, I like the characters, man. So I like Ike, obviously. I know people hate him, but I don't know. I know it's a put on, like it's an act kind of.
Definitely, yeah.
But I don't think
it's marketing.
I don't think and of course there's marketing to an extent, but I think there is some that passion is there. Obviously, when he like won the classic or he caught that
Right.
fish, um, you know, that was real. You know what I mean? And I think that probably set the tone and why he does it all the time now. But um, you know, Swindle, I like him. He's pretty funny. I like Watson, James
Yeah, man. Did you
Watson.
watch him the other
He's
day
kind
on MLF? he was
no, I
he
didn't.
was killing.
No.
He was naming the fish. He named the first one Nancy Pelosi. Then he named the next one Bernie Sanders, and then Chuck Schumer.
Nuts.
Oh, dude, I was fucking dying.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. God, so who else, man? I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really look at him like that.
That's three. You need two more. I mean, come on.
Oh, God, two more. I should have thought of this beforehand. You've asked everybody
Yep.
this damn question. Um, so who else do I like? Oh, I like Brent Ayler. He's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I've actually met him. I met him at right where we're staying for the Lake George tournament at that hotel. He was there for an event and he hung out and talked to us and everything. We were there for our club tournament. He's really cool. I guess Latimer. I mean, you know, I don't know too much about him. I've only just basically learned about him through his YouTube
Right.
channel.
Very passionate guy.
Um, yeah, yeah, he's cool. You know what I mean? And I like that kind of that just kind of down to earth approach to you know, his channel and everything like that. And, you know, it was good to see him get a win. You know, finally get a win. So, but yeah, that's probably I don't know if that's a definitive top five, but it's you know five of the top guys that I dig.
All right. Rob Pagnano just tuned
I
in.
like
Rob, you weren't here earlier, but you've been nominated to do live music at the regional championship.
no, he doesn't like he don't want to does that all week. It's funny.
It's all right. He's got to
Um,
do it. He's got to do it. Uh, Daddy-O says, "Come on, the Mad Fisherman."
oh yes, the Mad Fisherman.
I
I can't
can't
make
stand
fun
him.
of him. Like his like mother-in-law just died. I can't make
Uh,
jokes.
well, then I won't make fun of him either.
Yeah,
But I'll just say I don't like
we
him.
don't want to do that. Yeah, yeah.
Um, Jeremy must have commented in right around the same time. Said, "Don't say Charlie Moore."
He's my hero.
Oh man, Pagnano says, "Congrats again."
Nice. Thanks, dude.
And that's about it. All right, so I'll let you thank everybody you want to thank on here, and then we'll get back to you in regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, God, there's too many people. You know, I'll just thank everybody who's been supportive. You know, not naming names, they all know who they are. All the people that were, you know, down at the 10, that was pretty awesome. Just, you know, when I started climbing up the leaderboard on that day one, I started getting text messages from everybody. You know, they're pumped. So I knew everybody was watching. And, you know, then to get off the water and kind of go through all the Facebook messages and see through how throughout the day everybody was watching the tournament and everything, and getting excited and all that. And you know, a bunch of people sent me messages through Facebook, which I didn't see until after. But you know, all those guys, it's pretty cool. You know, like I don't, like I said, I didn't start this group or start down this path with any of these uh, things that have happened, and you know, they weren't goals of mine. They're just things that happened. So um, it's pretty cool. It's pretty humbling to see everybody kind of um, you know, have my back like that. It's pretty awesome.
Right. I was trying to stay out of your inbox as long as I could, but there was certain points during
Yeah,
the
no,
day that I was like, I gotta.
yeah, yeah. It's funny because like the text messages I don't have Facebook messages like it does. My phone doesn't alert me when I get them, but the text messages obviously they do. And every time I'd get a text message, I'm always like, God damn it, stop texting me. And then you know you look at it and it's like somebody going, Come on, dude, you got it. And I'm like, Oh, I feel
Yeah.
bad, you know. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not, you know, text me. It's cool, man. But yeah, when you first get you're fishing, you know, you're so focused, and that text message, it pops in, and you know, you think it's something stupid, um, you know, but it's cool. It's definitely cool.
All right, man. I want to thank you for coming on here and talking about it and talking to everybody about
All right.
your club and how you got it successful and everything. Uh, so
Appreciate you having me, man. Sorry for being a little late.
yeah, I was expecting it. So
I thought, God, I thought it was at 9 for some reason. It sucks. My
it's all
fault.
right.
I stopped to get cat food, so Sarah didn't have to go out. Or I was like, no, you can't. I was like, you got to go out when I get home because I can't. I got to do the show. And then I was like, no, I got time, and I was wrong.
It's all right, man. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you.
All right,
All
man.
right. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Yep. See you later.
All right, guys. Mr. Ken Wood, Northeast Kayak Fishing TV. Talk about MAKb, how they became successful. Just want to thank everybody for watching, chiming in. Thursday, we have Mark Donio. He's Angler of the Year from one of the Jersey clubs. So we'll have him on here. Learn a little bit about him on Thursday night on Top Dogs at 8 o'clock. Friday, there is no show this week. I'm going to be in Messina, New York at the Messina Fishing Expo. I'll be in the FX Custom Rods booth. Also have a kayak set up, talking about some kayak fishing and things like that. So if you're in the New York area, looking for something to do, head up to Messina Expo Center. Actually, I think it's called the St. Lawrence Expo Center. It's right on the St. Lawrence River. I know it's up in the boonies in the middle of nowhere, but hopefully you guys can get on up there. I'll be up there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, talking fishing and selling FX custom rods. So if you're in the market for a new rod, come check me out. And next week, we got a few episodes. Tuesday, we have Eric Goldstein from Hudson Valley Kayak Bass Fishing. New topic. We're going to talk about a tournament situations from a sit-in kayak. It came up in a couple episodes ago. And I'm curious how these guys can do it from a sit-in kayak as far as measuring fish and taking photos, things like that. So it's a new topic. So we'll get that. And that's about it. I'll get you an updated schedule next week on the guys coming on. If you run a kayak club and you want to get on here, we're going to start doing a lot of that with the guys that run clubs. Get your 2020 schedule and bring it on the show, and we'll discuss your schedule, how you run your club, your Angler of the Year program, championship, all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. Tight lines, good times. See you next time.